Good evening, boys and girls. We have made it to the end of another week. That's right, Highbury Squad, Fridays. You know what happens on Fridays. The ledge is back. It's Super Kevin Campbell says. The big question, as always, is are you ready? Let's roll.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. For those of you listening on replay, welcome also. I know some of you will be watching our women play. Please keep me posted on the score. And let's hope we can beat Chelsea. This is a massive, massive game. So back is my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Good to be back, squaddies, from the off. Sophie had to manage it yesterday, but I'm back. Stay in line. I'd like to get hold of that Oliver and give him some of that, I tell you. At ease, squaddies.
Kev, I got in trouble yesterday. I did.
Go on, tell me.
I got in trouble. I was called negative because I started the show saying the party is over, you know. Lots of people did not appreciate my comments about Mr. Thomas' party. They're like, why are you being so negative? I said, I'm not. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. And then some people switched off, and a lot of people were like, where's Kevin when you need him? And then I said, did you listen to the rest of the show? Because it really went uphill from there. It really did.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Soph, what are you doing, girl?
I mean, you know, someone said, Soph, the opening 5 minutes, what's wrong with you? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you come off watching a game and you come on immediately after, you know, your emotions, your feelings, they're raw, they're real. I want party to be the Manchester City party forever and ever and ever. And, you know, I let it out, Kev. I let it out. But I paid the price. I have paid the price.
What is that all you said? That the party's over?
No, well, that was my line.
That's enough, I mean.
Which sounded really clever at the time.
Oh, jeez.
And then I did say, I said, how many times is he going to be inconsistent? And why is the question always who's going to partner Partey? Maybe we should be looking at scrapping the midfield and starting from scratch, which I know is very difficult to do in modern football. We can't go out and buy 4 midfielders.
You said what, Sophie?
And then I backed up Josh and said maybe Josh was right about having a Lamborghini in the garage. And what's the point if you can't drive it?
Oh, I'm off. I can't take this. What? Sophie, I go away for a few days and look at the carnage in there.
I know. But 13,000 people did listen to us tonight, and we had last night, and we had 1,200 in live chat, which was great. And Martin, I did go in, support. And do I have some regrets? No, not really. It's definitely my opinion that I would love to see Thomas Partey, Manchester City, and be imposing in more games. Super Kevin Campbell, more. Is that fair?
Yeah, but sometimes it's. You tend to find that the players play, when the player has a great game, the team has a great game. So it's not just him, because if you just got one player playing great, that's not going to get you anywhere. When the team play well, then he could really impose himself because he's got the support. But yesterday, we done all right, but it wasn't a great game. It's the first game after 3 weeks. And no one was really special, were they? But
no,
we ground it out and got a win, which is what we need, which is exactly what we need. I'd love them to be able to play like they did against Man City week in, week out, Sophie. But that's asking a bit too much at the moment.
I have the support of Demsek and Archangel and Tammy, and also, let's see down here, who was it? There was a nice comment from someone. Imran. Archangel thought I was being too positive. It's amazing.
Winding you up, so funny.
Absolutely amazing. Well, look, that was last night, and I said at the end of the day, it's night, and we got 3 points, and that's all that matters. And Kev jumped in as well. Thanks, Kev, after your brilliant stint on TalkSport, and said you take 16 more of those.
16 more of those. So honestly, I would. I'd take. We don't play well, but we get a 1-0 win, and we qualify for the Champions League in 4-4. But Sophie, do you know when you look at the league, Chelsea are right there.
You mean they're for the taking?
Oh, I mean. Because remember, I said yesterday, don't look back, you look ahead. Mm-hmm. West Ham are 1 point, and then just a little bit in front of them are Chelsea. You've got to try and if you win the next game or you go above West Ham, then you've got to look at reeling in Chelsea. That should be the mindset.
Well, and also Chelsea are in Dubai right now. They've had this World Club, the most useless competition in the history of the world. If Arsenal were in that competition, I wouldn't care less. I'd rather get 3 points against Wolves at home in a few weeks than that nonsense.
I'd want to win it.
All right. Well, maybe we should do that show next week.
No, Sophie, remember, it's about success, isn't it?
Oh,
and if
come on. I'd rather win the League Cup than that.
Sophie,
rubbish.
But that's your opinion. But do you know what? To say you're the best team in the world carries weight, whether you like it or not.
I think when you win the Champions League, you're officially the best team in the world.
But you're not officially, because it's only European.
Okay, so if, Flamenco beat Chelsea in the final, are they really the best team in the world?
Well,
no.
They're better than Chelsea when it mattered.
On one day?
Yeah. They're better than Chelsea when it mattered.
Over, how many games in the Champions League if they were in it?
Hey, Palmeiras have done that the other side of the world, Sophie. So let's not look down on what they achieve. So if Chelsea are going to be the best team on the day, and you could say we're the best club side in the world, hey, do it.
SM agrees with you. We're so far away from winning that. We just need to win.
Sophie, I know, but you know what? To say from where we are, Sophie, where we are now, if I said to you in 5 years' time, Sophie, we could be in that game to say we're the best team in the world, you'd say, nah, I don't want it.
I wouldn't care because the Champions League would tell me we're the best team in the world.
No, I'm saying, would you say I don't want it?
Yeah, I'd rather win.
No.
The domestic treble.
It comes, winning the Champions League, this game comes with that. So if you're going to win the Champions League, you might as well go on and win this game or the 2 games and be the best team in the world. Do you agree? No, you don't agree.
I would rather get 6 points in the Premier League than win that trophy, which, by the way, looks like...
No, Sophie.
Hold on. You know what that trophy looks like? The actual trophy looks like the Geller Cup from that Friends episode, the Thanksgiving episode.
Sophie, the Geller Cup. Sophie, remember, it means you've won the Champions League. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to qualify for it. We haven't done it yet. So wouldn't you saying you wouldn't want it?
You're changing the rules of qualification. Are you saying... How? So you win that and then you're back in the Champions League?
No, I'm saying to qualify for this, you have to win the Champions League.
Yeah, correct. And
that's what I'm saying. So you're telling me you wouldn't want to win it?
No, I'd want to win the Champions League. I would not want to waste my player time and energy on that trophy, on that stupid competition that no one's watching, by the way.
Sophie, it will matter to Arsenal fans. Let's ask the squaddies. Who in the squaddies would not be interested in Arsenal being crowned as the best team in the world.
I think Magic Mike is the only person that agrees with me. Everyone else, once again, I've put my foot in it, clearly.
It's a bad week for you.
It's a bad week for me.
It's a bad week. Dead week.
I guess I missed the comment about Swedish Gooner and his dog. But yeah. Oh, when something with, anyway, I missed it. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's see. I'm with Kev here. 100% Kev is right. Imagine a player gets injured. Exactly, Cyrus, in a stupid competition.
I could get injured in training. Come on, let's be
FIFA
real.
Want to make the Club World Cup even bigger. What is the sense? Thank you. It's like the Charity Shield. Well done, Patrick. Liverpool love telling everyone they were world champs.
Of course.
Liverpool love telling everyone all the time. I'd be happy to win it after winning the Champions League. I want silverware, says Gooner Rose. Yes, please. It's a trophy, says Cliff. It's a trophy, so take it all day. Anything to add to the cabinet. Could you imagine Tottenham fans arguing over which trophy they'd prefer?
It's the title of world champs. That's what I want Arsenal to have. Even if it's once, Sophie. Have the world
I get it. Armchair thinks you're the governor, which is true. Totally true. Armchair says, trust me, if you managed to get there, you would change your mind. No, I wouldn't. I would care less. Congratulations, you've just won Tottenham unused bottle of Silver Shine, says Swedish Gooner. Oh, you disagreed with me. Thanks, Magic. Throwing me,
there you
your
go.
mate under the
Magic Mike.
bus.
I tell you.
Damn, James is even saying it. I'd love to win. What's going on here? Right. I love it.
That's funny.
Everyone's spoiling. Bring it on. G-Dog. I love that. Yup. Kev is right. Sorry, Sophie. Yeah, I've heard it, G-Dog. I know. Demsec's greedy, wants it all. Chad wants it all. Suraj says, Sophie, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It's okay, I hear you. I get the point. Kev's 100% right. I love it. Here we go. Sophie, you're crazy, but a fantastic show. Thank you. Right, let's see if I could go for the trifecta here.
Oh, jeez.
3 strikes, Kev. It is so hot here. I'm burning up and sweating like swine. You guys, I hope it melts SoFi Stadium, Mr. Cronky Stadium down the street. Need a sip of Perrier. Kev, it's 82 right now.
Well, I tell you what, Sophie, it's chilly here in the UK.
Yeah. It's not chilly. It's not chilly tonight. It's hot, people. Let's get rolling, as Kevin says. Here we go.
Question number 2. What area? So, squaddies, everybody, at ease. Let's get into it. Kev says, this, by the way, is before the Wolves game. So, question number 1, squaddies. Name the player that this Arsenal side can't do without. Question number 1. What player can this Arsenal side not do without? Question 1.
I went straight. See? I messed up again. I went straight to question number 2, and I even have them labeled.
Sophie, I thought you meant to do that just to get 3 strikes, but
no,
you didn't.
I did not. You know what it is too. I've had a lack of sleep this week as well, but I got a good 7 hours last night, so I'm minty fresh and ready to go. Hope you guys got your Coca-Cola bottle deliveries.
Coca-Cola sorted.
This is the guy that this shirt. It's a vintage shirt. His name was, I can't read it, but I think it's Marvin. Anyway, right. Great first question from Super Kev. Let's hear it. Let me go right to the very top, people. This is your show. It's all about you. We'll get Kev to answer that at the end. It's -4 in Sweden. I tell you, I could use some ice right now. Woo! Okay.
Yeah, but that's in your drink.
I could use a little, cocktail. All right, Ramsdale says, Mr. Waffles. Martin.
Hey, Mr. Waffles, how you doing?
Love how he keeps coming back. Martin says Ramsdale. Zero says Gabrielle. Craig, hello, Craig. Welcome back to the show, says Martinelli. Rocky says Rambo. Ramsdale next. Our changer wants us to move on already to question 2. Cyrus says Gabrielle. Easy says JJ. Great appearances this week, by the way, mate. He says Ramsdale. Gabriel Magalhaes says GB. Albrecht says Odegaard, surely. Interesting. Partey. I'm not going to say anything on that one. Taib says Martinelli. Ian says Gabrielle. Tammy says Gabby. Noah says Martinelli, Ramsdale. He said 1. You don't get to pick
Noah.
2. Come on, Noah. You know the rules. You
Is
saw
that
the rules.
Is that a new signing? Martinelli Ramsdale.
What a player that would be. Holy crap.
Not only could he score him, he could save him at the other end. Brilliant.
Aaron Ramsdale says Edward. Let's see. Mikey says Gabrielle. Gooner Rose says Rambo. Armchair. Stop Saka. You stop Arsenal. Ramsdale for sure says Rago 1. Majestic bow tie. Of course. Super Kev always brings it. Gabrielle, no doubt, says Elliot. A-Run. Partey. CM says Ramsdale. Isaac, I think they're just trying to piss me off now. Partey. Nor says Gabrielle. P45 for Soph says Matty K. Thanks, mate. I thought you'd have my back, but yes, I get it. Tommy Arsu says SM. Ramsdale says Mrs. Thierry Henry 81. Congratulations. You must have a wonderful marriage. Partey says Patrick. Gabrielle in, says Femi. Rambo says more than a wheelchair. Love that. Rocky says our number 1, Rambo. Gooner Vettel, Lacazette. Wow, there's a curveball for you, Kev. Yes, he's not the best goal scorer, but without him, Saka and Martinelli is nowhere near the same level.
Do you know what? That's a good point, Sophie. And a lot of people give Lacazette stick, but he really is the glue at the top end of the pitch. He really is. And I know he struggles to be that guy, the goal scorer, but his all-round game helps them youngsters so much.
Yes. Yeah, he missed a... You know what? A lot of people...
He missed a couple yesterday.
Yeah, but a lot of people also crediting the goalkeeper, Kev, how he stood up in that situation.
If he doesn't get across the goalkeeper, we don't score.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Because that takes the goalkeeper's eye off it.
Yeah. Ayushman says, has to be Partey Xhaka combo. Master Yoda says, trusty the process. Tom says, hello, squaddies. Hello, Tom. Gabrielle says, K Marlon, we are in trouble without him. Gabrielle says, midnight. I think it's obvious what Colin thinks. I like it. LS says, beautiful here in San Diego. Yes, thank you.
Nice part of the world.
Soph on the Bacardi and Coke. No, not yet. After this show,
yet.
It's Super Bowl weekend. I'm telling you, I'm getting stuck in. There's no doubt about that. I've been a good girl all week. Demsec, what a tough question. Probably Ramsdale. So it's been... What's going on here?
On the baby sham, that's a blast from the past.
Kev,
Cliff.
do you remember those old commercials? I'll have a baby sham.
Yeah.
So at the Greek weddings back in the day, Kev, we kids, we always were like on the baby sham. Oh my God, so epic. Brilliant.
And Can I? Could you remember Can I?
Yes, totally.
Thunderbird.
Listen, kids, it's 82 here. It may look like I'm on the baby sham, but I'm literally sweating like swat. And I have an older house with no air conditioning, and I don't put the fans on because of the sound to give you good noise. Quality. Yep. Yeah. Dr. Dre, DJ Dre. By the way, I cannot wait for the Super Bowl halftime show. Woo, that's going to be fire. Eminem,
LA's
Snoop.
finest, isn't it?
Woo-hoo.
LA's finest are going to be out.
Totally. Odegaard says Harvey. Party. Lacazette. Saka says Cliff. Gabrielle. Patrick says, sad to say it, but party. That's how thin our squad is. J-Dime. Martinelli. G-Dog. Gabrielle. Ramsdale for Rich. Swedish Gooner. Tough question. I like it. I love that they think it's a tough question. I don't think any player is that important. It's the group that makes us strong. What do you think about that, Kev?
I wouldn't have asked it if I didn't believe in it. But yeah, of course it is. I mean, one player isn't the group. I understand that. But for me, there is one player this team cannot do without.
Yeah.
For me.
And I think every team has to have that player. You know, it's the X factor player. And sometimes it's not even an X factor. It's just like
Just somebody
a nucleus
who
or the
is
spine of something.
He's just someone who you think to yourself, do you know what? We're not the same side without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the Nick. He says Ramsdale. Odegaard says Chris. I wasn't either. I was surprised when he took him off, Chris. Were you, Kev? Were you surprised when Odegaard came off?
Not really. Look, the bottom line is he's got to take someone off. And, you know, to make the adjustment, unfortunately, Odegaard was the one sacrificed. It could have been somebody else. But
Well, when the red card came, it was Saka who was sacrificed. Odegaard, yeah. So, yeah, it was an interesting substitution for someone who I think has become a bit of the glue to the team. Cedric, okay, come on. Cedric's, okay. Come on, guys. This is the screen name that always makes me laugh because I feel like if I say it wrong for 1 second, it could be really ugly. Gabrielle says, cunning stunts. Lujma, I agree, Ramsdale, closely followed by Tommy. Are we celebrating a terrible... okay, we'll get to that. Demsek feels... Archangel feels the same way. I think Demsek too. Yusuf, Laka, Xhaka, says Arnie. And Ketia... Okay, now you're joking with that one, Petty. Pepeta. Saka says Ermine. Jean-René Nshuti. That's a lovely name. Thomas Partey. Stuart Woods, Laka, otherwise would be stuck with Eddie. Well, he could have brought on Pepe last night instead of Eddie, but we'll get to that. Boyce, always red. Saka. All right, Kev, we'll keep putting these up. Just got here. Don't know why we're talking, but Martinelli for me. Well done, Mohammed.
Love it.
Swedish, I suspect Kev reckons it's the team like you. All right, we'll keep impossible question to answer as we're too crap, says Future Shock. Kev, what do you say to Future Shock? Sounds like a rapper, by the way. I like it.
That's his opinion. You know, listen, at the end of the day, if we'd have lost last night, I could understand. But after 3 weeks, no game, a real terrible January, didn't we? We had an absolutely terrible January. We get back to winning ways. And it's a tough game down at Wolves, that's for sure. It was a tough game. They're a decent side. And they had the referee on side.
Kev, what do you think about the listeners who are picking Xhaka? Does that intrigue you?
No, not at all. When Xhaka wasn't there, we won games as well. So I don't think that's a massive issue.
We've got lots of... Shut up, Mike. We've got lots of Ramsdale's Gavies.
Trust magic, eh?
We got Partey. Okay, so very good, you guys. Keep them coming. Yeah,
it's good that it's diverse.
Metallica documentary.
It's good that it's diverse as well.
But do you know what, Kev? No mention. Saka got 1. Tierney got 0 mentions. Unless I've missed some.
No, there's been no Tierney. But again, Sophie, Tierney's looking after that left-hand side at left back. He's the number 1 there. But can we do without him? We've proved when he weren't in the side. And what's his name? What's the Portuguese lad? Left back.
Oh, so Wolves is left back.
No, our left back.
You mean our right? Oh, Nuno.
Nuno. Sorry, when Nuno's there, we were winning. So again, you know, that answers that one, doesn't it?
No one's saying ESR either. Isaac wants to read your mind.
ESR has been on the bench, and he's been coming off the bench doing bits. To be fair, but he hasn't really been starting. Just why people calling for Pepe. Pepe hasn't been starting for Arsenal, and look where we are. So you can't really question what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not going to the Super Bowl. Absolutely not. Do you know what this is like? It's not comparable. Okay.
Sophie's on the Ray and Neff. I love that. I wish she was.
Unbelievable. What is it in my face today that is making people think? I'm flush because it's so bloody hot. Right, Kev.
Yes.
I'm not. This is like not like the Champions League final, but I dislike the Rams so very much that it's like. Of course, it's not as bad as when Tottenham were in the Champions League. But yeah, I do not want them to win. You know why? People are like, why don't you want the Rams to win? So I tried hard. Remember that show I said, let's root for the Rams because maybe his attention will shift to the Arsenal then to do the same. But then I thought, if they win, he's going to want to build a dynasty. And that makes it even worse, Super Kev.
Yeah, but they've already got the players, Soph. For a dynasty, you maybe add one or two pieces, but they've already got the team. Let's be honest. It doesn't need many more players. They've already spent the money for the cap. Mm-hmm. It's going to be right up there, the cap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salary cap. So
Kev, Ben White gets a vote from Leo.
Nice one.
All right. Okay,
Nice
keep
one.
them coming, kids. I'll keep putting up the questions, your comments. We are going to officially move to question number 2. Let's see if I can actually prompt the correct video on this occasion. Here we go.
Question number 2. What area of the team is the key to our top 4 challenge? What area of our team? Interesting to hear your opinion.
What area of the team is key to our top 4 challenge? So, Kev, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said the striker position, which wouldn't have been my answer in December when we were scoring 21 goals.
Yeah.
So for me, the answer to this question simply is the midfield. I believe every top team has a midfield that is the anchor to everything good that happens in a side. And when we don't have our best players playing in midfield, we see how that affects the team. Let's see what the squaddies think. Rewind it, DJ Funksy. The first question, I've forgotten it already. No. Rewind it and watch. We're on to the second question now, which is which part of the team
First one, DJ Funksy, is which player can't the Arsenal do without? Okay? That's the first question.
That's the first question.
Right.
The second question is which part of the team
Is key
to
the
us
top
finishing
4
top 4.
challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Midfield says Mr. PKA. Tom says managerial. Interesting. James says easy again, midfield. Defense says Arnie. Midfield says Waffles. Back 5 says G-Dog. Ayan says striker. LT says midfield. Easy question, Kev. Midfield, always midfield, says Chris. Midfield says Sean. Archangel, yeah, these guys are having little in-jokes in between. Femi says midfield. Cliff says midfield. Answer number 2, a centre forward and a midfielder. So Aaron's giving a double down on the answers. Midfield says Suraj, Craig. Goalkeeper and defence. Centre mid says 33-5 as striker, says Sky. The midfield's so important, says Keith. The bench, that's an interesting one from Miss Thierry Henry, happily married to a legend, the king. His queen. What do you think about that one, Kev?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Miss Thierry Henry, 81.
But Kev, if there's injuries, that bench becomes important.
Sophie?
Yes, sir.
What was the question?
Yeah, okay, I'll keep going.
No, what was the question? What part of the team is key to our top 4 challenge? Not that it's important, is the key.
Okay, the key. Pay attention, people. If you don't, Super Kev will come after you. And you know what happens when Super Kev will come after you. I'm just going to scroll up here and I'm going to go for it. You know what's coming.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
And by the way, while we're on it, let's bring little Vinny out. 370 of you in live chat on a Friday night. I love this. This is epic.
Come on.
Done. Come on.
Come on, hit that like button. Just touch it, caress it, or even smash it. Come on, do it.
All right, let's get
Was
back
that
to you.
Were you kissing it there?
I was doing. Central midfield says Phoebe. Look at us in Jan. Scott, I mean, I completely agree with Phoebe and everyone who's saying that. Midnight, all of it. LOL. Pep Teta says defense. Patrick says attack. Demsek says Magic Mike, I agree. With less than 6 months left on his contract, the club cashed in. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but well done. Martin says defense. Rosalind says defense. Ian says midfield. Gooner Vettel midfield. The rest not even close. Gooner Rose says midfield. There's a pattern emerging here, Kev. Mikey says midfield. Mark says defense. Dejan, our strength is our goalkeeper plus defense. We will go as far as they take us. Albrecht says wing. Wing. Now I want some chicken wings. But wing, do you mean the wingers? Like, explain.
Yeah, maybe means the wingers, yeah.
Patrick says central midfield. Angry Gooner. Don't be angry, Gooner. Back five.
I
Gets
think
you
he's
in
angry
trouble, trust me.
He's angry with you from last
Lee
night.
Miller says strike force, whether we can score enough goals. Dre's back. We need goals. However, we need to control the game when we are, yes, midfield order, controlling the game. Matty K with his lightning strikes. Midfield. Adam, up front, we've got to score goals. Hamesh says midfield. Y'all can see how crucial O was yesterday. And you know what, Kev? He's like a silent assassin. You know, sometimes I think, you know, like De Bruyne does magic, right? He scores spectacular goals as well as being an incredible midfielder, a player. The way his passage to play, his passing, he's there. You see him, and of course he shines in a Manchester City team that is laden with stars and their style of play. Odegaard, for me, he just does the business and is silky smooth, but it's not as sexy visually.
It's more understated, isn't it? It's more understated.
Yeah.
And it's not. Do you know what, Sophie? When the team was playing well, we could really see Odegaard then, couldn't we? Because everybody was on it. And then you see he could pick those passes. But when it's a bit more conservative, you see, if you watch him, you see he's got some great moves. But we just don't function smooth as a team right now. So I understand what you're saying, definitely.
Okay, Winston says defense and keep nicking goals. Striker says Mohammed. The team that controls midfield controls the game. Playmaker striker says Rocky. Edward says goal scoring is key. It doesn't have to be a striker. Cyrus says midfield. GB says we aren't well done on your player ratings, GB. Thank you always for engaging with us on YouTube. We aren't going to score too many, but if we can keep clean sheets, it gives us a chance. Defense, he says. K. Marlon says defense, back 4 or 3, including goalkeeper. Cola, defense is our strength, so we need to capitalize in it. Their little sexy conversation going on between Magic and Demsek. You guys carry on. Miss Thierry Henry, the bench is strength in depth. Demsek, the key is midfield. Partey, Xhaka together. I'll change all the front 4. We simply aren't creating or scoring. Tammy says, would be nice if we could score, but going for midfield. Rago says, I would say after 11 clean sheets, it has to be our defense. Jonathan says the defense. Now gaining momentum is the defense, Kev. Isaac says midfield. Swedish Gooner says midfield. That's the key. Luzma, considering the lack of threat, no pun intended, defense is going to be key, clean sheets. Gooner Rose, it's got to be the midfield. Shelter, strike force all day long. We can't rely on Lacquer and Eddie. Thunder Road, Sophie, put... Okay. I do respect him. I just want more from him. When the player's like here, you know he can be here. You want him to go there. There you go. Midfield says Isaac. Midfield says Yusuf. Ayan says manager, maybe, and striker. Scoring goals are always difficult. Creative midfielder says DJ Funksy. Zero says defense, Kev. Colin says striker. Would be on a par with Chelsea in the table with a better striker. Kev, what do you feel about that? Like, you got a 20 goal striker. Are we in 4th already? Are we in 3rd?
Well, let's put it this way, Soph. If we had someone up there who could score regular in the number 9 position, I think we'd be right where Chelsea are now. Right where Chelsea are. We'd have picked up minimum, I reckon, another 5 points.
Kev, do you think that if we had the Aubameyang of his first 2 seasons, we're there?
Wow, we'd be there. We'd be right up there.
Yeah.
We would be right up there. Because it's not as if we haven't had chances in some of these games, so we've missed a lot of chances.
We have.
Gilt-edged chances. Now, if you've got a striker like Aubameyang in his pomp, then he's taking the team on his shoulders. He's taking you away from other teams.
And Kev, isn't it amazing how a team... So this is why my answer to your question, and you're going to give your answers to your own question in just a bit here. This is why the answer for me is midfield, because I think that was the difference. We scored 21 goals in December, but who was playing in December? Xhaka and Partey were playing most of the games. And maybe I'm contradicting myself with the Partey comment, but I'm not, in the sense that I know he can be better and do better. But in January, when we lost both idiotically to red cards, hence my comment, they need to be better leaders, lead by example. They're the engine. We scored 1 goal. They come back, we score a goal, we win. But still didn't play that great, in my opinion. So that's why my answer is midfield, Kev. And I know you're going to get into it a little bit more when you talk, but this is an important part of how we function as a team in being able to allow the Martinellis and the Odegaards even, and the Sakas and the Emile Smith-Rowe even coming off the bench to grab goals.
I think the dilemma for Arsenal, and this is where I'm going to chuck a little curveball at you midfield people, is how many times do we dominate games? We're going to get a lot of games like this Wolves game where we have our spell and they have their spell. And I mean, Partey gets booked early, then Xhaka does his usual dragging of the jersey.
Terrible, Kev.
You know, it's if that was in the box, he still would have pulled him. You know, I just know he would have. So, can you actually rely on Xhaka? Do you understand what I mean? Can you rely on this guy? Because as he said, he's not going to change. He's going to play his way. He don't want to hear it, and then he goes and does silly things. And he's a car crash waiting to happen at times.
Kev, you bring up a fantastic point, because let's just say that North London derby is scheduled as the last game of the season, and it's between us and them for top 4.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to hold it together?
Højbjerg is going to be trying all sorts.
You are 100% correct, because, Kev, Man United have to play, Tottenham have to play City, United, Liverpool, us, and West Ham. West Ham have to play Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Villa, City, and us. We have to play Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Villa, Man United, and West Ham. Man United, the same. There's a lot of... We're going to have to
games,
play each other.
Kev. Yeah. And I think we discussed it, was it a week or so ago, where we said what might really decide it is the games against each other.
Yeah.
You know, you come away with 3 points from them games, you move and you push them down, and then you're virtually there.
Kev, there's a reason they haven't scheduled that North London derby yet.
Oh, 100%.
They know what they're doing.
100%.
It's coming at the end, isn't it?
It's juicy. We could wait, just waiting for the bird's in the oven. So the bird's in the oven.
Oh, that's right. You guys, that humble pie of mine is baking low. Right. I'll keep, let's put this up. You can't trust both the 2 central midfielders at the moment. I've said this for weeks. Odegaard is so important as well, though. Look at the movement. Look at the move for Lacazette's chance. Such a good player. All right, we'll keep it coming. Kev, it makes no difference, says Demsek, if we can or cannot rely on Xhaka. We have no midfield. The team is rubbish. Holy cow.
I don't agree. How are the team rubbish and we're 5th in the table, 1 point behind West Ham in 4th, and we got 2 games in hand? How is that rubbish? I don't get it, Demsek. I don't get it. And I don't agree. I disagree with you. We ain't rubbish. We're not where we want to be 100%, but we're not rubbish.
I think because we're so used to you know, there was a time when we played through the middle, then on the flanks, then we switched it. And I think that stylistically something has changed since December. And you can tell me I'm talking out my backside or my
You're talking out your
Kev.
backside.
Okay. But there's something different in terms of how we're creating. We were so exciting in some of those games. We had a bit more speed. We had a bit more energy. We had much more.
Welcome to the league. Welcome to the league.
You've played in it. I just talk about it. So
it's, you know, Sophie, sometimes you know, just imagine this, Sophie. You prepare and you do, because it's about repetition, isn't it? You prepare and you do the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
And every time you cross that white line, you don't always get the same results. So you say to yourself, why don't I get the same result? Because you're human. There's times where you're going to do the same thing and you're going to cross the white line. One day you might be full of energy. The next time you might not be. Another time the opposition might be asking you different questions. So you can't have, remember, because all the teams are different. You're playing against all different players and they prepare just as much for you as well.
So, you know what's interesting? I think because in particular, and having spoken to a lot of United fans that I have in my family and stuff like that, when we sit down and have conversations, it's the case of, I think the reason why we moan a lot and United fans moan a lot, and I can understand where Demsek's coming from, is that we've been so used to sexy football. You know, we've been so used to a certain style of play, Kev, and for a long time, both teams dominated the Premier League. And even when we were playing, we weren't winning under Wenger, we played beautiful football. But the question is, what do you want? Right? Do you want to...
Playing beautiful football is one thing,
right.
Sophie. What the Arsenal fans really want is to be back challenging up the top.
Right.
And what we need from the Arsene Wenger years, first of all, is a change of culture. You could talk about sexy football all you want, Sophie, but that sexy football, I remember after 20, 25 minutes, the game's been over.
Yeah, mentally especially, they were over, Kev. There was no coming back.
And Sophie, that is down to some culture and a bit of toughness and togetherness and team and, you know, everybody together. It makes a difference. So sometimes we have to give up a little bit of that flair to have some of them, some of that coveted Arsenal traits, the doggedness, the grit, the determination. You know, that game last night was a real good questioning for all this Arsenal squad. Didn't do business in January. All of a sudden, you got a tough one at Wolves. You meet them again in a few weeks' time. Can you get over the line and you're at their patch?
Yeah.
And you go down to 10 men, Sophie. Remember, went down to 10 men last year and we couldn't hold on. This year,
very true, Kev.
We hold on, you know. And I know it's different, but, you know, it's still questioning, can you hold on? And we did. So we got to get some credit from them.
Definitely. Max, you guys were cherished by Wenger and Sport. We had champagne football. We had a lot of hangovers as well, Max. I can't see your shirt there. Who do you support? Can anyone make that out? Let us know. All right, we're going to get on to question number 3 here. And then Super Kev will jump in.
Is that Chelsea?
It looks
Chelsea?
Chelsea-esque.
So it's a Nike, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Nike.
Kev, this is coming. Da 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 da.
So, do you know what? As an attacking force, they're good. They are good. As an attacking force, they're good. But we've got to have a right go at that defense. My goodness. Their rear guard. Wow. We've got to have a right go at their defense, Soph.
It's coming, Kev.
Good.
It's going to be epic. All right, here we go. Question number 3.
Question number 3. Is Mikel Arteta the scapegoat for doing what's best for the Arsenal Football Club? Is he being made the scapegoat by some? By a lot of people, actually. By doing what's right for the football club. So, recap. Name the one player this Arsenal side can't do without. Number 2, what area of this team is key to our top 4 challenge? And number 3, is Mikel Arteta the scapegoat for doing what's best for the Arsenal? Is he being scapegoated? That's the 3 questions. So look, don't have to bruck you up. I want to make sure everybody's fine and everybody's all right. Get in the chat. Let's get busy. Sophie's going to host with the most. She'll leave the samurai. I'll do the brucking up because I know there's going to be a few who I need to bruck up. So, all the very best squaddies. Sophie, squaddies, take it easy. Addies!
That was a wake-up call the other night when I hadn't slept for like... Oh,
Addies!
slept for 30 minutes. I'm like, what? Vinny and Vesta were like, what? That's Uncle Kevin. We're up, we're ready.
They're barking the place up.
Totally. By the way, Kev, after the Conte and Arteta picture I posted, this is great. Conte to Arteta. I am your father. It's that scene in Empire Strikes Back. Luke, I am your father. And then this one from Swedish Gooner, the picture of Kane and Ben White.
Benjamin White.
Benjamin White. He's like, that is a red on Kane. Look at that. Look how he's pulling his shirt. Damn. Yeah. Anyway, right. Let's get to the answers. Yes, says K Marlon. He is the scapegoat. Hold on a second.
One of them's got to be right, K Marlon, isn't it? One of them's got to be right.
Oh my God, Thunder Road, Emerson Royale with cheese. That is epic. Hey, who got the better right back in the end? Oh, we did. Obviously, says Martin. That's my theme. Oh, the da 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 da. Oh yeah, look, he's got Darth Vader as his thumbnail. Yes, Casey, says Femi. Arteta is the scapegoat, says Suraj. Yes, he most certainly is, says Keith. Bolymation says controversial question. I'm not saying nothing. Did you notice how I didn't answer this one?
I noticed how you swerved that.
I'm just going straight into the squaddies. I back him on Ober 100%.
Well, that's what I'm really that's the one I was really, Archie, well said. That's the one I was really, I wanted to leave it a little bit open because obviously there's other things that happen that people don't like, his man management and this, that, the other. But one thing I don't think anybody can say is he's doing it because he thinks he's bigger than the club. He's doing it for the betterment of the Arsenal squad. That's what I believe. And I'll say it at the end in my summary as well.
I think the biggest thing I've backed Arteta on from in his tenure is his handling of Aubameyang. I backed him 100%. As you guys know, been critical of him as in the Premier League, but I thought he handled that just the best way. Football game. No, he's a knob. You could have put the O in. It's okay here. Don't worry about it. You're not going to get... Okay, John's on the question previous midfield. That's lovely. Yes, Cronky Puppet, says Mikey. Tammy says, no, no, no. Woo! You don't love BM. Okay. Give me that loot, says you hit the nail on the head, Casey. Arteta is doing what he needs to be done. This will take time. All right, Jamie. He's doing his Ramsdale, midfield, and yes, answering all 3 questions.
All 3. Nice one, Jamie.
Love it. Martin says Arteta doing the dirty work.
We needed to do for a decade. Very well said.
Yes, 100%. We need a proper clear out and it takes time. Paul James says Arteta is a scapegoat. The enemy are KSE, low standards and no obvious ambition. Go Bengals. Archangel, no, he wanted the job. It's simply too hard for him. What do you say to that? Is it too hard for him, Kev? Or is he rising to the occasion?
Well, I believe, Sophie, he's not doing a bad job. Remember, we said this is going to be the eye-opening season for him because it's going to be his team in his image. And look where we are. So many people say, we're going to find out come the end of the season, but we're going to obviously keep a report week to week, aren't we, Sophie? Week to week, every time we play, we're going to have that report. So
and let's be honest, the reason why I said what I said after last night's game is there's a difference in between playing Wolves and what we have coming. Chelsea, North London derby. I don't care where anyone is in the league, that is always going to be a tough game. Liverpool, Villa, United, West Ham. The things we get away with in certain games, you just can't do that against better opponents. So, yes, Kev. GB says, just the way the question is framed is leading, Kev. Not a fan of the third question and encourages an answer you want. Wow. GB questioning
he's leading.
He's
leading.
Your question formation, Kev.
He's leading. What do you mean by leading?
Clickbait, I think, is what he's
simple.
Talking about, Kev.
No, clickbait. Well, this isn't clickbait. This is a question to the squad is in show. So how is it leading or clickbait? It's simple. Is what Mikel Arteta doing up the Arsenal? He has been scapegoated by people, or has he not? Is he been made the scapegoat? That's a fair question.
Yep. Lujma says the buck always stops with the manager. If he's sacked, then yes. G-Dog says no, he's just an amateur. Byron answering questions 1 and 2. He'll get to 3 eventually, I think. Well done, Byron. Part and parcel of being a manager, says Midnight. Jonathan says yes, because he had to take and make unpopular decisions regarding Ozil and Aubameyang. Look, Emery tried too. Let's get this right.
Gooner says I prefer not to speak.
I should have done that last night, Gooner.
Will he be in big trouble in the chat? Gooner Vettel.
Maybe Gooner Vettel should be my agent. I love that. I don't have an agent, by the way, Gooner Vettel, but it's up for grabs now.
You are the agent. What are you talking about?
Okay, so Archie says, first 2 seasons he was scapegoat. This season, I don't think he is. There's a good point to that. First 2 seasons, there's a mess. Look, Wenger left a mess. Emery had to clear up, Kev. Emery left a mess. Arteta had to clear up. The mess went from year to year. I think this is a good point from Archie, but you'll let us know at the end. Arteta brought everything on himself, and so far from being a scapegoat, it is preposterous to think it is, says Harlow.
Really, Harlow?
Preposterous. I love that word.
Preposterous, eh? Okay.
Preposterous. All right, I'll keep putting up your comments because we're going to get Kev's. We're already 53 minutes in. My goodness, this show goes so fast. It's so epic. All right, Kev, I'm going to keep putting everyone's comments up. Keep them coming, Sean. Yes, he's been made a scapegoat. Rams, yeah, I'll keep doing it. Yes, says Isaac. Kev, answer to question numero uno.
The player this Arsenal side cannot do without. And for me, I see it definitely as Gabriel. Gabriel at the back with that aggression, with that pace, with that power. Came up with the goal last night as well, Sophie. For me, without him, Ben White isn't the same player. That defense isn't the same. We're a lot weaker. And Ramsdale isn't as protected as when Gabriel plays. I know Gabriel is, he's not always the best player, Sophie, but his sheer presence for me makes a massive difference because he makes Tierney better, he makes Ben White better, and I thought Ben White was excellent last night as well, Sophie. And when Ben White's better, then even Cedric had a decent game last night. You know, for people who who dump on Cedric. So for me, it's Gabriel. Obviously, the midfield. Partey, I think a lot of people expect Partey to pull rabbits out of a hat. But we've seen the team without him. We've seen the team without Xhaka. We've seen the team without Martinelli. We've seen the team without Laka. We've seen the team without Saka. Gabriel, when Gabriel isn't there, I fear for our defense a lot more. Midfield, Lokonga can come in and do a job, and I know it's not quite if one of the other two are not there, etc. But for me, Gabriel is that guy at the back for us, Soph. And that's why I would say Gabriel for me. Rambo's unbelievable in goal. But I still think that protection in front of him is key. And he's the one player who glues it all together. So that's
I like his character too, Kev, Gabriel. Like, you know, just the sense I get from him when I see his social media, you know, I don't know. There's something about him. I think he's got it together not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. Yeah. You know, and he's
that type of character. You could see it in him. He's a character that he's a man. He wants to stand up. He wants to battle. He wants to get stuck in. He wants to put his head and foot in there. And you know, centre half coming up with the goal last night. That's like a Tony Adams move, wasn't it? You know, away from home, tough game away, down to 10 men. You win 1-0, and Rodgers has got one, you know, at the back post, just like Gabriel. Yeah.
Kev, do you imagine physically a Gabriel Saliba combo or the three? Is it possible for the three for them?
I relish it, Sophie.
Would
honestly.
It be a three like Gabriel White and Gabriel White
and Saliba?
Wow.
Quick. All of them can run. We got power. We got pace. They're all comfortable on the ball. And you know what? When they split, Ben White could travel. And the two centre halves could just come in. And Ben White could go. And we got two guard dogs at the back. Big guard dogs. Come on then.
Yeah.
Come on. They can run with anybody. They could battle anybody. They could out muscle anyone. Now we're talking, Soph.
He's got that beast mode about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got you know, like Rio Ferdinand had this finesse. He had this kind of Maldini Italian defender-esque
confidence. He had that confidence, didn't he?
Right. But when he needed to be a beast, he was beastly. And I think Gabriel has a bit of a combo. He's like this hybrid defender who has the characteristics of a Baresi. Okay, I'm just using characteristic profiles. I'm not saying he's Baresi, you guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, go on, Kev.
No, I'm just saying, you're saying that he's got the characteristics. Mm-hmm. He's got the leadership. He's got the toughness. He's got the speed. He's got the power. He's got all the attributes, Sophie. And we're seeing it. And now he's coming up with winning goals.
Is he our Van Dijk, Kev? Saludin asks a really good question here.
At the moment, for where we are, yes. Our problem is, as we know, Soph, we just don't have the team yet. When we're a fully functioning team, he's gonna be special. He is. Because that means the opposition won't get a lot of opportunities to attack. And when they do attack, he'll snuff it out. That makes him look even better.
A lot of people in chat are asking you, Kev, if he's captain material.
I think he is. And I've said this before. I'm not too sure how good his English is, his communication and stuff. I don't know. But I think he is captain material. Definitely. I think he is. I think Erdegaard's captain material. I think Tierney's captain material. Ben White's probably captain material. They all seem pretty vocal. You know, so yeah, I think he is captain material. But again, some really good answers, Sophie. Really good answers of the players in and around, and even Mrs. Henri said the bench to the next one and stuff. And so, what area of our team is the key to our top 4 challenge? And we can't have the most important player and then go to another area. It's got to be a defense. I think what I said, was it last week or the week before, Sophie? We have to be able to lean on our defense. We have to, because you know what? We do not have the firepower. Yeah, we have talented players. Of course, we have a Martinelli who on his day, he's fantastic. Saka on his day is brilliant. Smith Rowe on his day. But we don't have a lot of those days consistently at the moment. And we have to hold our hand up. We are putting our trust in the youngsters, so we're going to get that. But the one thing we have to have is that defense. And that includes Rambo. We need the back four and we need the goalkeeper to really be the rock that we build our team on. And you know what? Like I said, I'll take 1-0s all day long, Sophie. Because you know what, Sophie? I know midfield, and we could look at midfield, and yeah, that's the engine room. But the way we are as a team and the way we play, we do not control games long enough. Opposition can get a hold of our midfield. They can, because we're not quite settled in there. So when that happens, we need our back four and goalkeeper to be able to produce like they did last night, see us over the line. And when they do that, that's what they're good at. That's what we need them for. Keep the opposition out.
Kev, does it worry you, though, that the reason why I say we can't keep doing this is because we've got 16 cup finals left. And eventually, we don't want these players to burn out, right? And that takes a lot mentally and physically to have to defend like that in the Premier League. And we've done it in the League Cup too. Does that concern you? Or with the juxtaposition to that, it seems like our defense is the best it's been for a very, very long time.
Yes.
So I was maybe expecting your answer to shift more to the midfield, because in your eyes, if Partey's the guy, who's going to be that guy alongside him? And being a striker, who's going to be that prolific 20-plus goal?
Yeah, but that's why that's not the most important part of our team. Because there are question marks over that. There are question marks up front. There are question marks, should Pepe play? Should Martinelli be striker? Should this, that, the other? We're just not clicking at the top end of the pitch, Sophie. We're just not clicking. So what we have to do, we have to rely on the best part of our team, and that is defense. We can always nick a goal, Soph, because we got determination. We got players who will create something and nick a goal. But you know what, Sophie? If you nick a goal and you can't keep the back door shut, you're going to be in trouble.
I see.
We have to be, And here's the other thing, Sophie. If you think it's putting too much onus on the back four, well, they might as well not play. This is where these players make their name. This is where they get their squaddies. This is where you get your stripes. You get your stripes by actually doing it and knowing you can do it. And you know what, Sophie? We got a clean sheet. Next game, get another clean sheet. Next game, get another clean sheet. All of a sudden, you're starting to earn stripes. Teams know, my God, it's a miserly defense. And then we might get it together up front. And then bang, bang, you score 2 goals. Now, they've got to really open up and come at you.
Right.
And that's when you want that defense to stand firm, win the ball, play through them, and we could kill teams. That's what the good teams do. And a lot of the good teams, have you noticed, a lot of the good teams keep the defense the same.
Yeah. I mean, look what's happened to Leicester this season without their solid back four. Obviously, they switched their goalkeeper in the FA Cup and stuff, but Fofana's been a huge loss. Evans has been a huge loss. Huge loss.
And Sophie, you take players out, players who are the glue, players who remember Evans, we don't want him. He makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because he's experienced. These guys need to play week in, week out.
Totally.
All together. Come on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. That's how they earn the stripes.
Mikey, we gave Holding a lot of love last night. We thought that he did a great job when he
Holding
came out.
was great coming on.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, Wolves played to Holding's strength. They knock balls in so we can head them out.
Also, Kev, Wayne FC keeps saying, and he keeps posting, we ain't good enough. I love Arsenal, but we've got no leaders. Do you think that's true about this Arsenal team? Because I think for the first time in a long time, we have silent leaders and we have, leaders. I was so happy that Phil McNulty from the BBC is such an awesome, if you don't follow Phil, you should. He's really, really good. He stood up for us in the sense that why are people having a go at Arsenal when they're celebrating winning with 10 men? And Neves made his comment, and a lot of the guys in the chat box, Kev, want to know what you feel about Neves' comments. I think he's a bit jelly that he wasn't playing on the red side.
Hey, I've got an opinion on that. Don't worry about that.
And also Phil McNulty was saying, why are people having a go at Arsenal like they just won the Champions League? They just won a really big game. And seeing, to go back to Wayne's question, Ben White like grabbing Ramsdale by the shirt, Gabriel like fist pumping. I think Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Tierney, I think they're all becoming and evolving into leaders. You don't have to have the captain's armband, Kev. Talk me through a little bit of that, because everyone wants to know
when
your
people
thoughts.
say there's no leaders, who are you comparing it to? Because if you're comparing it to Tony Adams and stuff like that, of course, no. But leadership isn't just vocal. Leadership is actually doing the job.
Exactly.
You could be a leader who does it by the practicality of your work. Odegaard's a leader. He isn't the most vocal. Let's be honest, he's not. But he's good enough to captain his country. He's good enough to demand the ball. Lacazette's a leader. Lacazette. So you look at Ramsdale, you look at White, you look at Gabriel, you look at Tierney, you look at Partey, you look at Xhaka. For all I don't want him, Xhaka is still someone who they respect, and he's a leader. Odegaard. I'm not going to put that onus on, and Lacazette. I'm not going to put that onus on Saka. I'm not going to put that onus on Martinelli or Cedric. But Cedric is experienced. But I think now we're starting to see a bit of a team that actually wants and loves each other enough to get across the line and enjoy winning. Because you know what, Sophie? If we'd lost yesterday, what would have happened to those players? They would have got battered. You've been in Dubai, you've been preparing away, and you go and lose, and this, that, the other, and it's only Wolves, and we're crap. We win and we're crap.
Yeah.
We win and people in the chat say we're rubbish. So, again, when you're a player, that mentality is that togetherness is so important, because even your own fan base don't rate you. That's terrible. But there's only one way you prove yourself. That's by doing the business, Sophie. That's the only way.
Kev, can I also add that as a fan, and I love that you're saying that because the player perspective is always so intriguing, but as a fan, what Suraj is saying here is for the first time in a long time. Now, I can criticize, as a fan, I will criticize the fact that we can't do that game after game. We got lucky yesterday too. There's no doubt about it, you guys. Luck was on our side, but how long has luck not been on our side? Okay, even despite the sending off. But what he's saying here is, I feel like I'm falling in love with these players so much because I feel like they give a shit. They care. You know, that's why you see what you see at the end. And so many of the listeners in chat are saying that. To see them respond, you know.
Sophie, it means something.
Yes.
You know, to win means something. Not just you win and you amble off. No. You win and you ask the question and it gets tough and you see it through. That's massive.
Yeah. Because even when United win a game here or there, Kev, they don't have that. This is why I feel like it's there for the taking. United are broken. They're not connected the same way our players are connected. They are just not. You know, our players our away fans, again, brilliant last night. Ben White going in and giving his shirt to a young boy. He looked like it was his dad was like, oh my God, my son's going to remember this for the rest of his life. You know, Kev?
Fantastic. Listen, I know a lot of the Arsenal players go and do that, and I think we spoke about the connection that this team is now having with the fan base. I think that's really important, Sophie. Really, really important. And yeah, you know, people talk about, you know, the leaders, and yeah, of course they're not Tony Adams or a Vieira. They're not yet. And remember, those guys made their reputation by winning.
Yes.
They never made it by losing, guys. Let's have it right. They made it by winning and having people around them who cared.
And Kev, a lot of folks in chat, all 500 of you, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, this Friday night. Kev, they're saying too that these guys, the Ramsdale White moment, and they're saying it like they thrive on keeping a clean sheet. It gets their juices going.
You could look back, Tony Adams, Bold, Winterburn, Dixon, Lukic, Seaman. That is their hat trick, Soph. For a defense, a clean sheet is their hat trick. And they keep racking them up, Sophie. That's the sign of players who care.
Yes.
They care not to concede, not to get beat. If one player gets beat, I'll cover you. And if you get through it, then you've got Rambo to beat. It means it's going away from home. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard it is to go away from home.
Especially to certain stadium, especially to certain stadium. Well, it's not easy going to Wolves.
Sophie, it's hard. It's hard because the home fans tend to influence the referee. You've got everyone against you. Everyone. Hostile environment. Fans and players together. And you know what? If the team win, you're damn right they should celebrate. You're damn right. I don't give a monkey's what Neves says. I don't care. Because you know what, Sophie? This is the Arsenal. And there's a bigger picture. This team, obviously, have a goal. And they're going for it, Soph. Whether we get it or not, I don't know. Do I want it? I want it just as much as the players, Sophie. You want it just as much. I'm sure all the squaddies want it. But why should we, as a fan base and as a team, not celebrate getting a step closer? Because that's all it is, but it means a lot. It means so much to these boys, and I'm proud of them for showing it. I don't care about Neves. If he wants to join, different, but too bad, Neves. Sour grape. Yeah, you're damn right. Sour grapes.
Awesome.
Sour grapes.
That's brilliant stuff.
And last,
your last one.
Last but not least, is Arteta the scapegoat for doing what is best for the Arsenal? 100% he is. And Polymation mentions Arteta's lack of experience. Sophie, he's been bestowed with the Arsenal manager's job, whether he's lacked the experience. Of course he's lacked experience. Is he learning on the job? Of course he is. But do you know one thing that I will say, Sophie, is there still has to be standards. There still has to be a standard at Arsenal Football Club. And let's be honest, this type of togetherness was not there before. This togetherness, this connection to the fan base, this seeing players hug each other and love winning. I never saw that before Arteta came. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing that connection with, especially the away fans. The home fans have been excellent as well, by the way, at the Emirates. But especially the away fans, that connection, us together on hostile territory, and we win. It means so much. And all of a sudden, we're getting a team and a squad that connects. So you can question Arteta. Of course you can. And he's there to be questioned 100%. But that togetherness, Sophie, you do not win anything consistently without having that team spirit and culture. And do you know what? He's had a lot of dirty jobs to do, Sophie. Even though he's a novice, he's had a lot of dirty jobs. He's had to get rid of a lot of experienced players who carry a lot of weight. He's had to change personnel. He's had to put his arm around people who he actually would rather slap and get out the club. He had to do that for 2 years. He's had to cover these players while he's been working to get them out. So I think it's a bit unfair and not right for him to be scapegoated. I think he's done a decent job. Obviously, where we go in the future, Sophie, we only hope for an Arsenal who's winning. That's what we want. And whether he's the manager, I don't know. But I tell you one thing I do know from this point is that this culture and the way the players are is refreshing to me. It's great to see. And that's down to him. Because as everybody says in chat, the buck stops with the manager. So that togetherness is because of the manager.
Very interesting, Super Kev. Can I ask you, will you feel the same way about him in exactly what you've just said if we finish 7th?
Yeah,
or
I will.
6th?
I will. I do. Because, Sophie, as the reason why I'm on here is sometimes to get the player perspective. You want the player perspective. Do you think there's players in that dressing room now who don't feel differently as a player than they did 2 years ago or a year ago? Players feel the difference. Players in training and in games.
They're new because a lot of the poison has gone, right? So he's able to infuse...
No, but a Saka. I mean, on about a Saka, for instance.
Well, he shone under Emery, didn't he, really?
No, but
as well.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about who shone. I'm talking about the feeling in the squad. That togetherness. They showed it once or twice under Emery, especially, Sophie, that Tottenham game at the Emirates. And wasn't it wonderful to see
the 4-2.
them fight and battle and everything that went into that. That was like, yes. That's what we want to see. But we couldn't sustain it.
But when Emery tried to change the culture,
they weren't having it.
They weren't having it. And he didn't have the support. He didn't have the same support.
Right. And some of them big, and this is why I'm saying, Sophie, Arteta had a lot of dirty work to do when he came in. Even as he's a novice, but he had a lot of dirty work to do because he had to get the wrong uns out.
And as much as he's created togetherness, you could also say that he has alienated Pepe and Torreira and Guendouzi and Mavropanos and Saliba. So there's a juxtaposition, my word of the day.
How was he alienated Saliba?
Well, I mean, he's been on loan for almost 3 years, and he's a 27
Yeah, but how is that
million pound
alienating
player.
him? That's making him get better. Guendouzi was given the olive branch and he never took it, Sophie. He didn't want it. He didn't want to play for Arsenal.
He didn't want to be in London. It's not that he didn't want to play for Arsenal. He just didn't want to be.
No, it is.
Culture-wise, he didn't want to be in England.
It is. He didn't want to play for Arsenal, Guendouzi.
Maitland-Niles also is a player that you could argue fits in the team. So I hear what you're saying, and this whole like scapegoat thing is he scapegoated some players as well as some people.
No, he's had to get rid of some players.
Well,
who have not been good enough, Sophie.
But then Nketiah is not good enough.
Yeah, but Sophie,
and
at the end of the day, he will be gone. He will be gone.
No, but he's tried to convince him to stay. Xhaka, he convinced him to give him an improved contract.
Sophie,
Kev.
Sophie, listen. Right now, our best midfield is what? What is our best midfield?
It's a default of
No, Sophie.
Partey and Xhaka.
And Xhaka,
but
that's our
Xhaka
best
is
midfield.
a liability. He cost us January.
Sophie.
Sorry, Kev, he did.
But
It's
that
not, how
is-
can it be the best if he costs the team?
Sophie, that is our best midfield, whether you like it or not. I don't like it, but it's the truth. It is what it is. Do I want a better player in there? Of course I do.
I'd like to see that partnership.
Of course I
Guendouzi
do.
and Partey. Oof.
Guendouzi doesn't want to play for Arsenal.
Listen, that's because he and Arteta fell out, and
No, Sophie,
he wanted
hold
to
on.
play for Arsenal before.
He was given the olive branch, clear the slate, and he never took it. So he
because
doesn't
he's
want to play
young.
for...
He's a young punk, and
That's
and
not...
that's
So that's the excuse.
well. If you let me just say for a second that Arteta ostracizes some players versus coaxing them and putting his arm around them, which modern day football requires. Therefore, for example, Maitland-Niles, he was tainted with he was mates with Ozil brush, right? Eddie Nketiah has said for how long he wants to leave, but he's tried to convince him to stay, and he's rubbish. Maitland-Niles actually could have helped us in January, and we made a couple of bad decisions. I'm not like trying to be anti-Arteta here. I'm just trying to give the other side of it. Pepe, for example, had a good AFCON, and you're the most expensive signing in Arsenal's history, and Eddie Nketiah comes on yesterday instead of Pepe. Why not give Pepe a chance after putting in a confident performance at AFCON? That's the difference.
No, but Sophie, we can question these decisions as much as we want. The bottom line is what? The results. That's what he's going to live and die by, Sophie.
And the results in January were really absolutely awful.
Yeah. But look where we are,
and that so-called spot-on midfield is what cost us. Partey coming back from AFCON gets to play. Pepe comes back from AFCON, gets... Nketiah comes on before him. In 5 minutes, Partey gets sent off. Xhaka gets sent off again. That's the difference. All I'm trying to make you see is he's done a great job with certain players, but how he's handled and ostracized some players is questionable. And, so do you think if we were in the Europa League semi-final coming up in like 2 weeks with this Arteta, would he still play Xhaka at left back? Like, has he learned? Has he truly learned? Is he learning? Why is our team so ill-disciplined?
Sophie,
Wait, hold on, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. No, I let you... Let me finish my thought process.
Yeah, but Sophie, you're asking a question that I can't
Kevin.
answer.
Well, you should answer because I answer
No,
your
but I can't
hypothetical
answer
questions.
it because I don't know if we were in a Europa League semi-final in 2 weeks.
I'm asking if he's learned from his mistakes,
We
Kevin.
won't know until we get there.
Why is our team... Okay, answer this. Why is our team so ill-disciplined?
So you reckon Martinelli was ill-disciplined yesterday?
100%, Kevin. He acted, okay, like a little bit of petulant, which I understand the frustration. My point is I don't agree with the red card, but unfortunately our players allow these referees who make stupid, unfair decisions against us the opportunity to make those decisions against us.
Sophie.
That's the problem.
Sophie, I am 52 years old and I have never seen anything like
They were
that
both
red
yellow
card.
cards. They were both yellow cards. If that had happened within 10 minutes, the result would have been the same. The referee handled it so poorly. My point is, Kevin,
I know
that
what you're
we
saying.
allow ourselves to get into that position
So
and we need to be smarter.
Let me answer. In all my years, I have never seen what I saw yesterday. The referee.
Well, everyone's seen it. They need to stop belly aching about it. It happened.
But the referee could not wait to book him. And as according to the letter of the law, he shouldn't have given him a red card. According to the letter of the law. So the fact of the matter is, yes, is there some ill discipline? Yes, there is. Partey getting sent off was bloody stupid. Xhaka getting sent off is bloody stupid. Gabriel getting sent off against Manchester City, bloody stupid. But that last night, I definitely don't think was petulance or anything like that. That was a hungry player who was trying to get back at a player who was breaking at our box.
But he was silly. He was silly in his actions. That's the point. The point is that the referee doesn't rule on, what's sensible. He rules on the letter of the law of the game.
But he didn't.
Right?
But he didn't. This is the whole point. You're talking about the letter of the law, and to the letter of the law, it shouldn't have been a red card.
Well, it was 2 yellows. It wasn't a red card.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have even been the first yellow. Because if you play the advantage, you can't then book the player.
It was a professional foul. Okay, so here's the scoop. We're an hour and a half in. This is a whole other conversation, right? You guys are getting radio style, talk sport plus a gazillion, here with us tonight. And we love doing these kinds of shows, to be honest with you, where we can just go.
Move it on. Yeah, we're moving it on.
Stick with us. But the point is that last night we got away with it. And there are a lot of Arsenal fans that do think that the sending off was justified. Now,
yeah, Sophie, but remember, we're talking about letter of the rules and letter of the law now. You look at it, I think I sent you the rule. For what Martinelli done first, if the referee plays advantage, you cannot book him for it.
I just think we're becoming a little bit whiny. Sorry, 520 in live chat. There's been a lot.
So
I think
all
we're
I'm
becoming
saying
a little bit
is
whiny.
No, but all I'm saying is, Sophie, you're talking about our discipline. I don't think Martinelli was ill-disciplined. I think he wanted to stop the throw-in. And then when he realized the play was still going on,
He committed another foul right after. I mean, he's silly. It was the point of why I brought this up, Kev, is not to debate the red card, because of course, you can look at it and say it's harsh. My point was on the riff of your third question being about Arteta being the scapegoat. We have never been more ill-disciplined in Premier League history than we are under Mikel Arteta. So I ask you, when we face better teams, and like I said, we've got Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Villa, Man United, West Ham coming up, cunning players like Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo.
We played Man United.
We lost,
Man United.
and we lost.
Yeah, but we didn't get a man sent off.
No, but we did
that's
against
what
Man
we're talking
City.
about,
We
Sophie.
did. Okay, but the
Sophie,
point.
we're not talking about Man City. We're talking about Man United here.
No, we're talking about all the teams we have to face, and why can't
Yeah,
you just
but we
say
played them.
what
We
is it
played them.
mentally that Arteta isn't drilling into this side to be a little bit more
Sophie,
cautious on the
Sophie,
pitch?
Again, you're putting too much on the manager. It's the player on the pitch that has to have his wits about him. Stop. Don't do this. It's not up to the manager. So you think what Granit Xhaka does is down to the manager? Or what Martinelli done last night to get sent off is down to the manager?
Mentally, we have these moments of lapses, Kev, and mentally,
Yeah, but
it's
that's
going to
the
be
player.
very important for us to be mentally engaged in these next 16 cup finals from 90 minutes to the final whistle.
Sophie,
and there's
but
an
that is the
ill-discipline.
player.
A team is the image of their manager. We say this all of the time. All of the time.
Sophie, all I'm going to say to
Then
you is
don't
this.
play him.
All I'm going to say to you is this.
Wow, it's
Remember,
like when the player gets sent off, it's the player's fault. When we win, it's it's like this is the problem I have sometimes when you just can't say anything about Mikel Arteta that says I'm
hold
just
on a minute,
asking
no.
simply.
And
like,
I've answered it.
No, you haven't.
So what haven't I answered? You tell me what I haven't answered.
Why are we so ill-disciplined
I
under
have
this
told
manager?
you it's the ill discipline of the players. I always tell you this, Sophie. When the players cross that white line, the players have to make decisions. They have the decisions to make. The manager doesn't influence their decisions when they're in the heat of the battle. That is why you have to earn your stripes. And we have been poor. I have agreed with you. I just said Martinelli last night for me was not ill-disciplined. He tried to get back at the guy breaking, which is what you want. That's all I'm saying. Xhaka, party. I agree. Yes. Gabriel, I said yes. Stupid.
I'm Dan Potts now, by the way, according to everyone in chat.
No, but you understand, Sophie. I agree with you. But I just think that one on Martinelli, he's not that type of player.
Isn't it funny, though, when
Sophie.
Pepe got sent off, he got scolded?
Of course he should.
But why didn't Xhaka got a pat on the backside when he got sent off? And
Sophie. Xhaka gets battered. He gets battered by us when he gets sent off.
I really do need to promote these T-shirts more.
Sophie. Yeah, I should be saying that about 100 times tonight. Jesus.
I'm going to get this out.
Not for me, please, Soph. Please don't do it for me.
All right, 520 of you in live chat. Please do hit, kiss, like, lick. Kev will tell you what to do.
Smash it up. Not your computer, just the like button.
We hope that you have enjoyed. It is fun. I mean, look, we could go on and on, us two. I'm telling you. Thank you.
We love these debates.
Dan.
We
yeah,
love
we
these
do.
debates.
We do.
We
Listen,
do. We love
each other. And these debates, we have a difference of opinion on this stuff. Now, you guys know, let's see, 4 red cards in 6 games, and Casey doesn't want Sophie to point it towards Arteta. Casey deserves a red card. We haven't handed out a card in a long time. So sometimes the passion and commitment our players put into a game overtake them. They are a team which needs to mature. Right, we're going to do this. We're going to do another show on this next week. So if we can't use Pepe's case to continue to beat Arteta with, poor Arteta, the scapegoat.
LT, we can, obviously, we can.
Oh my goodness gracious, gosh. Dare anyone say anything about Arteta, even though you respect what he's done in the defense? Let's just laud Mr. Arteta. Okay, you know how we like to end the show on a little bit of nostalgia, Kevin says. I've got something for you tonight, Kev. Are you ready for this?
No. I'm always ready. Come on.
Do a poll. We will. Absolutely. And thank you so much that you guys, we can't do it without you. Right. I always have something up my sleeve for Kev. Kev?
Oh, wow. Wow. So, well, that I'm sure that was, if I remember rightly, obviously that's at Coney. That was before the Littlewoods Cup against Luton.
Yes.
That was in the build-up, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the build-up.
That was such a... So, Kev, for me, the Littlewoods Cup loss to Luton Town, and here's the Luton Town win the cup 3-2, right? This was the official program, and it was 100 years of the League Cup, and Arsenal played Luton. And Kev, this to me was as shocking a result as the Wimbledon Liverpool FA Cup final. We had won the League Cup the year before against Liverpool 2-1. Yep. We were winning 2-1. And, you know, someone made a massive mistake in the penalty box. I had a picture of him and I don't know where it's gone.
But you know what, Sophie? Mistakes happen. They were better than us on the day. They were better. But do you know the... Let me just let you a little insight. If Arsenal win that, they don't do 89.
Do you think?
I know.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
Because you know that loss, George Graham leveraged it big time against that team. That's what drove them on. Because that cockiness beating Liverpool, it's Luton, Arsenal, Luton at Wembley. It's gonna be easy, isn't it? So you could think, Arsenal definitely gonna win. No. This was such an important. I want Arsenal to win everything, Sophie. But being on the inside, this was such an important lesson for that team. And you look, after that, Sophie, a cup final, Arsenal never lost the cup final until the UEFA Cup?
Yeah.
Never lost one until then. Everything under George Graham, win.
It was such a horrible moment for Gus Caesar, but it's so amazing. This is why we love this show, you guys. That insight that Kev just said to you, think about what he just said.
Because you know why, Soph, as well. Sorry to cut across you, but I think this is really important.
Cut across me all day long.
Because this is really important. Because I was on the periphery, I'm training with the team. I'm seeing the narrative that George Graham and the way he spoke to the coaches and the way the coaches started to coach after was so important, Sophie. It was vital to drive the team on, to use it. That's what the best managers do, right? They use adversity to the advantage. And that's what he done. And that's gave us the steal, because you know what? If you win and you win, you think, we're winning. But that loss, he got the lash out.
Wow. Was it brutal, Kev?
And that pre-season, the focus was mad. I'm telling you, it was mad. And that's then 88, 89. 89 doesn't happen. Because remember, Arsenal were way ahead of Liverpool, Soph. Hillsborough happened, and Arsenal lost a bit of form, and then Liverpool went on a tear when the league resumed. Liverpool were on a mission, winning games. But before that, Arsenal were running away with it. Why? Because of that defeat to Luton. Don't like to lose, hate losing. But if you're going to lose, let it have a meaning for moving forward. And it helped. It helped.
That's amazing.
First time I've told anybody that, Soph.
That is amazing. Losing sometimes, what you take from losing is so massive. It's in sports especially if you're there for the first time, you lose, or how do you use that as fuel? How do you bounce back? And leadership really is important in those moments, to learn those lessons. But it's amazing Amazing. Rosalind said I was at Wembley, got my car towed away, and a loss and a fine.
Bad day for everyone, Rosalind. Nightmare,
Magic
wasn't
Mike
it?
says, thanks for losing that cup then.
Yeah,
Gooner
don't
Rose
like it. Don't like it.
Dad did the Littlewoods pool every week. Thursday, 7:30, all the time. That is an incredible insight right there, Kev.
Yeah. And do you know, Sophie, you know, when you come back, just imagine. Obviously, you got the rest of the season to play out, and you play out the season. Then you know you come back for pre-season, and the coaches' mentality. Normally it's laughing and joking and all that kind of thing. The coaches are like,
no mercy.
Sophie, it's gone up a notch. Because we expect more. We expect more.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Some great comments coming from everyone as well. Shashank, you can just fast forward and listen to Kev's bits. It's up to you, babe.
No, don't do that. you gotta get the start. You gotta get Sophie at the start, definitely.
This is amazing. I'm blown away by what I know. Isn't that a great story, Matty K? That's just brilliant. Steen came off the bench and destroyed us.
Yeah.
And Kev, who was it? Mickey Hartford.
Mick Hartford.
And
yeah.
who was the defender?
Fozzie, Steve Foster. Big
Whoa.
Fozzie. Ricky Hill played unbelievable. They had the Steen brothers, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was Brian and Mark Steen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good side. Mal Donaghy. You remember Mal Donaghy and all those guys? Ashley Grubb. They had a good side. They had a good side. But we were long shot favourites.
Oh, big time. It was
Long
like the
shot
Liverpool-Wimbledon FA Cup. We were way
long
favourites.
shot favourites.
Yeah. Wow. We were winning 2-1 and my God.
Big lesson, so
Gus Caesar had a nightmare in the box. He should have
taught us a
kick it out,
big
man.
lesson.
Just kick it out.
Taught us a big lesson, Soph.
That's a huge lesson, though. It's not just a big lesson. It's a game-changing legacy lesson.
And momentum. See, momentum. When you're 2-1 up and things happen that go against you, sometimes you get in the dressing room and you think, what's just happened there?
Yeah.
But momentum is such a swing. But George Graham, he was on it straight away. He knew what to do.
Did he do it immediately?
No, he didn't.
All right.
Because there was no way we're going to win the league. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So he coached, but that focus, let everybody go away, have their holidays, come back in. When you get back in the lab, science, we're gonna put some potions together, definitely some chemistry.
Brilliant.
And we got to push on. And well, you saw what happened after that. The belief was incredible.
I mean, look at their face. Look at Smudger and
Smudger's like, oh,
and Mickey's face here.
sick,
You know,
sick, absolutely sick.
God, I love that shirt.
Great shirt. That was great
shirt.
Great shirt. But
That's
yeah,
epic. That is an epic. That would have been a great Amazon Prime moment, by the way. Proof of what a good manager can do, absolutely, and how he utilizes those tools, Mr. Waffles, to get the best out of his team. We love doing the nostalgic bit at the end on Kevin Says. That's it. It's been epic. 1 hour and 43 minutes. Tell your friends to listen. Hit the like button on the way out. Kiss it if you want. Hug it. Caress it. We will be back on Monday for Monday Madness. Can't believe we've got to wait another 8 days until the Arsenal play again, Super Kev. But we've got some great stuff lined up for you this week. Kev is going to be whizzing over to our good friends on Lee Judge's TV next. So you get a little bit more Super Kev. So whoever said they love listening to Super Kev, listen.
you get another chance with the lads, you know, you're gonna have another child with that Dan Potts.
And you got Dan Potts.
Swapping Sophie for Dan over there, and judges.
Love it, Kev. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. I love the KC shows being a little bit longer. It does feel, it makes me, those radio live days, Kev. That's what it's all about.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Thanks, Saladin. BRUK da NEK.
Where's I'm going to put them all up right now. Grammy Award listening. Fantastic. Love that. Absolutely brilliant. All right, Kev, that's all I have time for. I'm looking forward to Super Bowl weekend. Going to put my feet up. I might eat some bad food as well.
Why not? Do you know what, Sophie? Everybody, do you want the Rams or the Bengals to win?
Do you know?
Put it in chat. Put it in chat. Squaddies, you know I love you. Sophie loves you. Got to hand it to Sophie. Another great week, Sophie. Sorry, I've been quite busy this week. But we gave them a little bit more tonight, and I hope this made your funky Friday, Squaddies.
Definitely.
But do you know what, Squaddies? We've got no game this weekend. We've got 3 points in our back pocket. Live a little. Enjoy it. And you know what? Tell your loved ones you love them, please, because it's important. And be kind to everyone. Take care, Squaddies. If you want to see more of Mr. Campbell with Dan Potts and Gianni Judges, come over to Lee Judges TV at 10. Squaddies, all the best. At ease, Squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.